Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of Business Spotlight. I am Ramakanta Bhattacharjee, a business and executive coach, and I have created this series to shine a light on purpose-driven entrepreneurs whose stories offer both inspiration and practical wisdom. Today, I am excited to be joined by Brian Livingston, founder of My Mentoring Guru, a seasoned mentor and emergency services veteran who has guided hundreds of transitioning professionals build businesses with over 100 million in collective business value created by his clients. Brian, I have been looking forward to this since long. Let's dive in and explore your journey. Brian, you served in high-pressure emergency roles for over 30 years. What drove you to step away and begin mentoring others?
Well, there are several things that really combined, but the biggest thing was I ran into some PTSD issues. Okay. And along with that, the job just in general, being a police officer, is a very difficult job. And without digging deep, I hit the time where I just couldn't put the uniform back on. I couldn't get back into a cruiser. It just felt the whole situation just felt very claustrophobic, and the policing was having a very negative effect on my relationship with my wife and my very young daughters. And actually, the final straw, so to speak, was my 3-year-old said to me, "Daddy, I don't want you to be a policeman anymore." And at that age that they're supposed to like the police, they're supposed to know the police are there to protect them. And my daughter saying that to me, it just broke my heart. And I went in and I resigned that day. That was my last day. And so thus began my entrepreneurial journey at that point.
So what I understand that the time to the family was the most, the driving factor, to get away from your early career. And so in that line, so what was the moment, that clarified your mission to help others create their second careers? What was that moment?
Well, the second career, well, I had to do something, right? Like I had a young family. I needed to do something. I knew I needed to get out. I was going through counseling, and the counselor literally was like, "Well, you need to get a divorce." But I was like, "But I don't want a divorce. That's not why I'm here. I'm not here for you to tell me to leave my wife and kids. I'm here for you to help me keep my wife and kids." And but I knew that if I stayed in policing, that just wasn't going to happen. I was going to lose them. So I needed to get out, but I needed to be able to find a new career. And 25 years ago when I got out, it's 24 years now actually, but there was not this focus on mental health that there is now, and the focus on mental health is still inadequate today, regardless of career. But it just, as a police officer, you weren't allowed to say, "I'm having a problem." And so the only way people ended up that you had a problem was because you took your own life, right? That was, and then people were like, "Oh, I guess there was a problem there." Well, yeah, he killed himself. Obviously, there was a problem, but you weren't allowed to admit to it. So they didn't know what to do with me when I told them that I was having problems. There was nothing. They had no programs, anything like that. So basically I was crazy, right? What it came down to. And so if I was going to go apply for any other salaried position, what were they going to say when they went back to my prior employer? Well, they're going to
Mhm.
go, don't hire him. He's crazy. Right. So I literally had to employ myself. And then I had to figure out what it was that I was going to do while I was employing myself. So that kind of became the next step in the journey.
So I think this is amazing. So what I understand that you needed help, and then you are not getting the right help, and especially on the mental things, and they are asking to break your family instead of how to keep your family. So that triggered you that when you are building your second career, that helping others, because what I am not getting, I would like to do a career that where I can help others. Am I correct?
Yeah, sorry. Yes, completely. That's one of the reasons why I got into it. And I love coaching, right? Like while I was policing, I was also coaching high school basketball, right? I loved being able to do that. And so when eventually, obviously I got into I have a couple different businesses. First of all, leaned on my police training, and I have a very, very successful traffic tickets business in Alberta. And, and then from there, I was able to expand and get back into coaching, but I got into it on the business side of things because I knew what it was like to try and start a business when I had no help. I nobody who was entrepreneurial in my life who was going to be able to guide me. And so I had to figure it all out on my own. And I'm stupid enough that I made the same mistakes multiple times because I'd be like, oh, it didn't work the first time. So let's do the same dang thing again. You
Mhm.
know, and so I had the opportunity to then move into a coaching role. And that really now allows me to help other businesses and help those business owners and their families. And I can really give back that way because I didn't have anybody to do it for me.
Amazing, yeah. So it's very interesting that you are not getting the help. So you figured it out and then thought that, okay, now let me go back to people, those who are also struggling like me, start coming from a career and then I can help. And you took the role. Let me ask you the question. You mentioned that hundreds of clients and help them launch high impact businesses. Could you share a story that captures that transformation?
Okay, so and I am somewhat contractually limited to what I can say. Okay, but this one business, the gentleman had an amazing product. Okay, absolutely incredible product, and he wasn't able to sell it. He brought in a couple salespeople as well to try and sell it, and they didn't. So what it ended up that it was him, an offsite programmer, and me. And I came in and I actually created their entire sales process for them.
Mhm.
Okay. Their marketing, how we were going to go do all of what we were going to do. And now they're the biggest business of their kind in Canada. And yeah, so now they've got employees all over Canada. And no, they're big time now. So I took a payout. I stepped away. I said, okay, my work here is through. Thank you very much. And so I was very hands-on in that one. Now I'm more hands-off. I don't come in and do it. I just really tell them this is how to do it. But that business went from, a couple people to, I think they're probably the business now, that business probably worth now at least $50 million alone, that business easily.
So what an amazing transformation story. Someone was unable to sell anything. Now he has made it as a, with your guidance, a $50 million business. Um, Now let me come back to that, that you change the career and, so that you are not getting help. So in that line, and now you are also helping people, those who are changing careers, So my question to you that what do most people get wrong when they leave a very structured career to start something of their own?
The biggest thing they do wrong is they think they've got to do everything by themselves, right? And so they normally pick something which they're good at, okay? And I always give the example of, let's say, a plumber, okay? Just because you are the best plumber in the world, it doesn't mean that you're the best salesman, the best marketer, the best website developer. Okay. And so they have a tendency to want to do everything by themselves instead of admitting that they're not the best at everything and going out and finding the people who are strong where themselves they're weak and being able to do it right.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this is good, because they know that profession and they think that they can do, but this is the business. In the business, that is only one step, right? So other processes, so you come and help. Yeah, I am also being a business and executive coach also. So we also go by these steps, make sure in the mastery level, in the foundation level, they have a stability so that they can get out of the chaos and the stability and then move to the next steps. So my question to you that how does your mentorship approach, differ from, the other coachings or online business advice?
Well, the first thing that we do, and just so that you know, I've rebranded the business to being called WAYLOTT. So WAYLOTT is spelled WAYLOTT. And what it stands for is, what are you leaving on the table? Okay. So the first thing that we do is we do an incredibly in-depth revenue review of their business on 22 different areas of their business. Okay. And we go in and we identify where they're making the mistakes. Okay. So that we know, I call them anchors. Okay. And a lot of them are invisible to the business owner because they just don't know. Right. Like with me, I didn't have a mentor. Okay. And if you were to ask me, what is the one thing somebody needs to really create a successful business? It's a successful business mentor. Okay. And so what we do first of all is we review all their processes. We identify where the weaknesses are. And I can tell you, I've worked with some very big names. Like I've worked with Grant Cardone, who's one of the top, him and Tony Robbins are two top business coaches in the world.
Yeah.
Like Cardone, I think, is $100,000 for an hour, right? And I've worked with these people, and I never seen an assessment to the level of the assessment that we do for revenue. So we start off and we go, here's where you're missing, right? Because as you talk about, we need to build a foundation, right? Otherwise, we're building a house of cards, right? And we need to set the foundation, and then we start stacking on the foundation. But if we don't know where the weaknesses are, we could be spending all of our time in an area that's already solid, and we're up over here when we're supposed to be building down here. So we do that first of all, and we point out, we let them know, we give them a custom roadmap, and then we say at that point, would you like our help to implement? Okay. And if they don't want our help, that's fine, because I know I provided them an insane amount of value just by saying that, look at all this. And literally it's money they could be tripping over, but because nobody's ever shown them or told them, they don't even know it's there.
So if I summarize what you are saying, that you focus on the revenue side first and show them the where is the money. So what we in my coaching style, we say that that you should be impatient, for the profit in the beginning stage, but passion for the growth. So that you are saying that in the foundation stage, if you don't have the money, you will not be able to do. So you show them that okay, here is the money, and then you take it from there.
Yeah.
Let's move, shift the gear now a little bit. So you have spoken, that is on your personal side. You have spoken openly about your cancer diagnosis and the mental shift it triggered. How has that shaped how you lead and mentor today?
Well, you got to understand, like when I had my cancer diagnosis and I went through all the treatment and everything like that, I did not have my family. This was during the pandemic, right? And I did not have my family in the proper financial position so that if I died, they would be taken care of. Okay. And so that, you'll have a lot of business coaches and stuff like that. They'll say, what is your why? Right.
Yeah.
And so my why now is, if something happened to me, I know that my wife and children are taken care of for the rest of their lives, and my children's children, right? Like that's what I want to be able to do. And so I really focus on that with business owners that have families. Or right now I'm working with one gentleman out of Ontario. He's still single, but he plans on wanting to get married and have kids and everything like that. And I'm like, okay, well, we need to plan for that now, right? Because they need to be taken care of. You're the moneymaker. You're the engine of this family or this future family. And if you die, what's going to happen to them? And my cancer really changed everything for me, because I was like, I can always make a buck tomorrow. I can make another buck tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that, we're fine. Well, I want it so that if I die, they're fine.
Yeah. So what you are saying, that event, that tragic event in your life help you to see the longer term things, right? Not the instant thing, okay, I'll be able to, but it has shown you that okay, how do I build my longer term things and the future, so that people will be able to run, even if I am not there. So that and so from your life lessons, now you are telling other business people, wait, we have to plan for it.
Yes.
And so you are bringing the intentionality, that whatever you want for your the loved ones, so you have to plan for it. And so you, if I summarize that, you are doing that. What in my terms I say that they create a commercial profitable organization which runs without you. So that you are doing, and you are helping others to do also, correct?
Yeah. Yes, completely.
Let's talk about your, the vision. What I have, learned, that you have talked about, mentoring 10,000, the first responders by 2033. So what does it, look like, and how do you plan to scale?
Okay. Well, first of all, I've been very fortunate, as I've been asked to be one of the head people for a group that they're out of Australia, and they're creating a massive social ecosystem where they're going to be helping first responders around the world in terms of getting the support that they need for mental health issues, for violence in the workplace, for sexual discrimination, racial discrimination. We're putting together this massive ecosystem where we're going to be going out, where we've already started going out to separate forces, stuff like that, and making, explaining to them how we've got to create a different environment. Because every week I'm seeing more not posts, but news-related articles about how another first responder took their life, another first responder took their life. And I know how close I came to it. And so through that, I'm going to be able to help those people transition, right? To be able to pivot. Some of them need a side hustle. Some of them need a completely new career, right? So we want to transition them over into something else where they're going to know that they've still got the income that they need, and they're going to have the support that they need inside this ecosystem that we're creating. So that is how I'm going to help the first responder side of things. We do more than just that. I don't just work with first responders. Obviously, we work with a lot of different businesses, but that's how I'm handling the first responder side of things.
Yeah, so it's a big ship, 10,000. So you are already collaborating with one Australian organization, but what are other right collaborations or partners for you in the next phase?
Well, what I'm doing is, first of all, it's funny because business coaching it's a negative saying now, right? Because there are some of us who went out and got incredibly well qualified to become a business coach. We have successful businesses ourselves. We've helped other businesses become successful. And then there's other people who were delivering pizza last week, did a 4-hour, $19 course on the internet, and now all of a sudden they're labeling themselves as a business coach, right? And so it's really gotten this negative connotation, but I like collaborating with professionals. How can we help each other? Because I'm not an expert in every single area that people need. Like I am not the marketing guru of marketers. Okay. I have a buddy who refers to himself as the godfather of marketing. Okay. Like, so they're going to go to him, right? Like I need somebody who can do better stuff in terms of tech. So they go to him. So I like to collaborate with people so that we can deliver the best possible product. And I collaborate with other business coaches around the world, right? Sometimes they come and they work with me. Sometimes I refer people to them, right? I always want the client to be in the best hands possible. And sometimes the best thing that you can do, but the hardest thing to do sometimes, is to say, we're not the right fit, but I think you'd fit really great with this person, and to move them over there because that's the right thing to do for the client. So I'm always on the lookout for experts in their profession that we can work with together harmoniously to be able to get the best result we can to help as many lives as we can.
So yeah, so I understand that you are trying to create a network of professionals and then refer to the right professional for the right cause. And so at this moment, what are the challenges you are facing?
Everybody wants to be paid, but yet they don't want to prove that they can actually do what it is that I want them to do.
Mm-hmm.
And when I talk with them, I say, well, like, we offer a guarantee, okay, in terms of the revenue. If we can't find 100 times our fee in missing revenue in your business, we refund our fee immediately. No questions asked. That's how confident we are in our review process. And so I'd say it's called risk reversal, right? For my traffic ticket business, we're the only business in the industry that guarantees our work. Okay. So, but when I say to people, and I say, well, listen, I'm really looking for somebody that can do X. Okay. And, let's say they can do Instagram, LinkedIn. I hate social media with an intense passion. Okay. Because I don't like the time it takes to do it. So I'm like, I want to find somebody that can do all of it for me. Right. And can do it all for my clients.
Yeah.
And so they're like, well, yeah, well, I can do that, but here's the cost. And I'm like, but you haven't delivered anything to me yet. What's your guarantee? Oh, well, we can't guarantee that we're going to get your results. And I'm like, well, then, so it's finding the people who are actually willing to back up what they're saying are the people that I want to work with. Because if I don't get paid, they don't get paid, and so I put my money where my mouth is, and I want to work with the people who are confident that will do the same.
Yeah. So basically, this is the challenges. The business coaching is not at all panacea, right? So the client has to be ready first, mentally ready that he needs to be coached. So first of all, that is it. And he has to do all the hard work, right? It's not that the coach will come and then everything, oh, I got the magic wand, the result will come. It's not like that. So that is the challenge you are facing. So that's why choosing client is also the very important the step, so that he's the right guy and he's ready to do all the hard work.
Yeah.
So, Brian, I am almost at the end of the interview. I have a last question that,
Sure.
So you have helped, so many people, those who are transitioning from a career to a business. So what is the advice you want to give somebody is, in doing a job, but he wants to do something on his own? What is the advice you will give?
Okay. 2 pieces of advice right off the bat. Okay. Get a mentor. Okay. That's the first one. Okay. Get somebody who's done it and done it well. Okay. Don't listen to your buddy who's sitting on the bar stool beside you, who's working for $20 an hour. Let him give you business advice. Okay. Find somebody successful, model, mimic, master, right? Listen to them. Second of all, be humble. Okay. You are not good at everything. Okay. But when you get the right people helping you, they can help to guide you. It's like bowling when they put up the bumpers for the little kids, right? So it bounces back and forth. A good business coach and a good mentor are those bumpers. Okay. We don't throw the ball for you, but we sit there and we go, no, we got to keep it here. We got to keep it here, right? Until eventually we get it all the way down the alley for you. But you're right. And the understanding that you have to do the work. Okay. And it's defined action. Action on its own serves no purpose. Defined action is what you need to do.
So what you are saying that intentionality is very important. Yeah. So you need to be ready and intention and to do all the hard work. And the most importantly, the humble. You have to swallow your pride. What kind of position you had is a new thing, and you need to handhold with a good mentor, real mentor, and then be humble and then go. So yeah, thank you very much. So Brian, thank you for sharing your journey and for the work you are doing to lift others. To those tuning in, If Brian's story resonated with you and you are in the middle of a transition or looking to grow something meaningful, I invite you to reach out. You will find a link in the description to the business background questionnaire, a short form that helps explore how I can support growth-focused entrepreneurs like you. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and follow to help us spotlight more change makers like Brian. Brian, truly a pleasure. Thanks again.
Thank you.